Everyone has its own fear. But the greatest fear is nothing compared to the next 10 most extreme sports. For the first, we will go to Mexico. There, in the midst of the impassable jungle, far from civilization, is one of the deepest karst caves in the world. Its depth is over 1,200 feet. Swallow's Cave is a favorite place for base jumpers. In this sports, the altitude of the jump is limited by the height of ground objects, but not lower than 160 feet. For example, flight time from altitude 500 feet takes only 7 seconds. The jumper has only 3 or 4 seconds to take the correct position before the parachute opening. Unlike the common parachuting, here is no reserve parachute. If the parachute does not open, the second chance wouldn't be. Now we will rise to the stratosphere, to an altitude of more than 127,000 feet. No one jumped from such a height before. On October 14, 2012, the Austrian skydiver set the world record for the height of the jump and became the first in history who managed to overcome the speed of sound in a free fall. Its maximum speed in the fall was almost 850 miles per hour. To see perhaps the most dangerous kind of extreme sports, wheel into a barrier reef in the Caribbean Sea near the state of Belize. This is the Great Blue Hole, one of the 10 world's best places for diving. Its depth is about 400 feet. According to independent researchers, free divers make the unthinkable. They break the laws of physics and the scientific understanding of human body capabilities. Free divers are able to dive at an incredibly great depth, and that is without any breathing apparatus and pressure control systems. Nowadays, when there are such people, scientists are still convinced that a human is not able to dive to a depth of more than 40 meters. They deny this phenomenon. Or maybe it's just because someone needs to keep people in a cage of restrictions? But the human body is much more perfect and powerful than official science believes. Free divers describe the amazing feelings during the dives as if they fell into a completely different reality. A professional freediver is able to dive to a depth more than 300 feet. And they have no decompression sickness or destructive effects of oxygen starvation during this. The freedivers compare their first breath of air with the first breath after birth. The current depth record of the dive without any breathing apparatus is 214 meters. And now let's find out the official world record for breath hold. I think many will be surprised by the limitless of human capabilities. The more dangerous the river is, the more attractive it is for the fans of this dangerous sports. Extreme kayaking is adrenaline, risk and fighting with the rough waters. The best places for this extreme sport are in Africa. This continent is full of exotic places with dangerous rough rivers and waterfalls. From European countries, Norway, Iceland and Alpine countries are distinguished. Kayaks have the highest level of unsinkability. Their hulls are made up of several unrelated compartments. Even if the kayak is filled with water or rolls over, or its hull is punched, it will still be afloat, and its owner will have a chance to reach the shore. This kind of extreme activity is very simple. Find the highest mountain and follow the trail down. Riding your bike at the speed of a car on a steep, muddy, rocky slope of a mountain. Riding on a hiking trail, dropping huge rocks, sliding your tail and your front wheel at the same time inside a steep turn, trying to shave another second from your track time by going even faster. Pushing yourself to the limit. Yep, that will give you some adrenaline juice. Downhill mountain biking is one of the sickest extreme sport out there. The bikes those guys ride on are so different from your childhood bike that they shouldn't even be called the same. With pro suspension, massive frame, hydraulic brakes, those things are designed for heavy duty. For this extreme sport, we need a board. No, not flying board. Downhill longboarding has evolved from skateboarding, and it is the fastest, most exciting and probably most dangerous out of all longboard genres. The maximum speed comes up to about 80 miles per hour. Such speed may look slow when you are riding a motorbike or driving your car down the highway, but the same speed when you are standing on a wooden board out in the open, with nothing to grip on, feels fast, very fast. Add to that the tight high-speed turns, oncoming cars, and you got yourself an extreme sport packed with adrenaline. This bridge in China is the highest in the world. It's almost twice higher than the Eiffel Tower. I hope the fans of this kind of extreme sport don't know about its existence. Cliff diving or high diving is probably the least complicated and extreme sport. I think it's scary when your body, sailing through the air from dizzying heights with a speed up to 60 miles per hour and plunging into a body of water below. Think of jumping off an 8-story building. That's the 85 feet height. But this jump is from almost 200 feet height. This is a world record in cliff diving. These extremals are in constant searching for the most dangerous and inaccessible heights. One of the most extreme and dangerous types of climbing is ice climbing. At any moment the ice can break off and the climber can fall from a great height. But there is another even more dangerous kind of climbing. It's the rock climbing without ropes. The greatest in this extreme sports is an American rock climber, Alex Honnold. He set one of the greatest athletic feats of any kind, ever. He is the only person to have scaled El Capitan Mount without protective equipment. It is a vertical rock formation in Yosemite National Park, almost 3,000 feet high. Heli skiing is off-trail downhill skiing or snowboarding reached by helicopter. This is the ultimate extreme ski sports, deserves special attention. It has been introduced by the true extremals who are always looking for the next opportunity to stretch human limits. Extreme heli skiing is exceptionally dangerous because of the obvious crazy slopes, unknown terrain, avalanches, high falls and deep snow possibly concealing huge rocks. You can't start extreme skiing slow or give it a try, you've got to become a pro before you go there. The injuries are more severe than regular skiing. Speed is much faster, and if you fall, you'll roll down the steep slope hitting every rock on your way. In a word, death is a clear possibility.
Seconds to fly or die.
Wingsuit flying is the most extreme sport of all. Putting on a suit and leaping off the top of a mountain is about as close to being Superman. It's just you, your suit and the wind. It has a dangerous reputation, even by the standards of extreme sports. Risks include slipping on exit, cliff strikes, improper equipment, twisted lines, and protruding objects. However, despite the risks and the fact that wingsuit base jumping is illegal in many destinations, more people appear to be taking up the sport. What are the limits to what you can do with a wingsuit? Basically, the material functions as an artificial set of wings, giving a person's body more exposure to wind. That gives the user the needed lift and drag in the air to adjust the forward speed and fall rate. Wingsuit flyers have to arch or roll their shoulders or move their knees and hips, to control the descent. They then open parachutes and land. When the parachute deploys, it sounds like the echo of a shotgun.